business starts with an idea and vision, and being passionate about your idea not only motivates you inside, but inspires others around you. Only the journey begins with one thought, and dream comes to reality.
So Laura Schutz is here. She's the owner of Island Dog, and she's hanging out with us today. We're so excited to have you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So everyone, please grab a coffee and let's get chatting. Click and subscribe, and thank you for hanging out with us. I am Galee, owner of Pampas Gal.
My name is Orlandice. I'm owner of Interiors on Point and co-owner of Top Contracting. And we are here with Laura. Thanks for joining us on the podcast. We're excited to know more about you and Island Dog, which is opening soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
So exciting. Yeah.
So tell me, I'm so excited to hear about your story. What inspired you to create Island Dog, and what was that big vision behind it?
So Island Dog is actually named after my two dogs, Turks and Caicos. If anyone didn't know that, that's why I named it Island Dog.
Oh.
But yeah, I first got Caicos like 3 years ago, and I was having a hard time finding cute accessories for her and things that I loved and wanted to buy, and also locally. But I remember I was talking to a friend one day, and I was like, oh, look at all these cute things online. Like, I want to do this. Like, I think I could make it like way better, and I could do it locally here. And they were like, why don't you do it? I don't know.
What's stopping you?
I'm just talking about it. Yeah. So that was like the main thing. I was like, why don't I just try it out and make a design and send it off? So I ended up, doing my own designs and sending them off to a manufacturer. And then we got our first, set of collars and leashes and harnesses in, and
They're so pretty.
Oh, so
yeah,
excited
we launched online, which was a big thing for me at the time, and we were online for about a year with our business, just doing accessories at the time. And then I actually noticed my dog having problems with food and allergies and digesting food properly, and that made me kind of go into like research about dog food, and it kind of opened my eyes to what's out there right now on the market. And it's all, I mean, it's not all bad, but it was so hard for me. I'd be going to like 5 different stores in a week just to like ask about, different things. What can I feed my dog that has this issue and this issue? And I never really found a solution until I talked to like a nutritionist for dogs. And yeah, it just opened my eyes. I did so much research on it, and I was like, this is horrible. Like, what do we have out here? Like, there's no good options. And I wanted to be able to support local, and I was like, we need to do something about this, and we need something better. So that's when I was like, what if I just merged Island Dog as an online brand to like bring in food and treats that were more local, or just like made way better, that I know that they're made better. And so that's kind of where the idea came from. And also COVID sent me home from my 9-to-5 job. So I was working from home, and I was bored. I had a lot of extra time. So I was like, basically just became creative from that. And I was like, I need to do something.
And that's how Island Dog came alive.
Yes.
And you're full-time doing this now?
Yeah. So I quit my job like
congratulations.
a couple months
Congratulations.
ago. And then we decided to do this whole store. So it's been a journey for sure. But
I just following the Instagram and like the market, like the items are so unique.
Yeah,
they're very unique. I'm really excited. And so as a dog parent, what items that would be selling into your store?
We have a lot of different things. The one thing I wanted to like be as a store was to be unique, and like I didn't want any of our items to be in other shops, because I wanted someone to come in and have that full experience of like shopping and finding local products. Like if you walk into a pet store, like even right now, you wouldn't really find many local brands, or even for like treats, say, a lot of them are like mass produced from overseas or even in the States. And I was like, why can't I ever find these brands that are all on Instagram or like online that are making from like Alberta, BC? Like there's so many. So 2 of the bigger like treat brands that we're bringing in are actually locally made in Edmonton, which is cool.
Oh, amazing.
So yeah, we have that. We have a harness and collar line that's like made out of recycled water bottles from BC, which is really cool. And like just talking with all the people behind the brands is so like inspiring too. So
it's Island Dog is a very conscientious brand.
Yeah, we wanted to bring in brands that were like eco-friendly and really like innovating, you know, because I have another brand of treats actually, and I met the owner a few years ago, and she was talking to me about her whole story, and she was like trialing and erroring all these like treats, and was like couldn't find a good way to like put in not preservatives but like to make it shelf life, you know, stable. And she worked with so many different like nutritionists and stuff, and they found out that honey actually would make their treats more shelf life stable, and if they vacuum sealed it and stuff. And like she's just so innovative, and she's bringing new products to the market all the time, and I love her and her brand. And that's like the kind of, you know, entrepreneurs I want to work with, is just people that are local. But I also do have like international brands as well. I want to focus on supporting smaller brands as well, just like everywhere, because there are so many cool brands like in Australia and like over, you know, the border. And I'm like, I want to just focus on supporting
small business.
And things that people don't even know about. Like I want to open the eyes of like dog owners to things that they're like, wow, I didn't even know. Like we could have this in Edmonton, you know, so.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Just to, I guess, before I go on to the next question, not to dive too deep into the medical, but is there an example of an issue that you experienced with your dogs, or that you've seen that could be something that other people could encounter, which makes some of the brands that you bring in so much more valuable?
Yeah, like I got my other dog Turks about a year and a half ago, and we were just feeding regular kibble because we didn't really know. Like you get stuff from like the shelter or the breeder, whoever your dog is coming from, to feed, but it's never really that great. So I was like, I don't know. He was like kind of throwing up a lot and just not like the healthiest dog I've seen, obviously. So I was like, I need to figure this out for him. And I switched him onto like a cooked frozen food that you literally just thaw in your fridge, and it's made in Toronto. And I was like, I'll just give this a try and see, because I was like, I don't know if I can home cook everything and make sure it's all balanced and have all the supplements, but if there's something on the market that's available, which actually is not sold in stores in Edmonton at all, it's not anywhere. So I had to order it, and we've been doing that for almost 6 months now, and he's so different, like just completely changed. So I think like fresh food is definitely like the way to go, whether you're doing raw or like cooked. It's definitely better for dogs.
Yeah. When I was visiting LA, I was visiting a friend, and he was also feeding his dog all fresh frozen food as well, that he would have to pick up once a week, and then just store in the fridge. And it was great. Like the dog loved it. And you get to choose different flavors.
My dog's like literally waiting at the like counter when he's like running back and forth waiting for his food. So I know like that he loves it. And also, and one thing I noticed is that he drinks way less water too, because it's fresh, so it's more hydrating for the dog. So I'm like, why isn't he drinking any water today?
That's really good.
Yeah, it's really awesome. So.
Who are some of the local vendors that you love working with in the city? Like I'm personally not that familiar with a lot of the dog brands. So is there a few that you want to mention?
Yeah, well, I love Miles Treats. They're a local treat maker, and he's like a Red Seal chef. I actually met him like a long time ago. He does like cooking for like big catering events and stuff like that, but he decided to make his own dog treats, which was really cool because his dog had a lot of allergies, and you know, he was feeding his dog a million ingredients in one treat, and he came up with like limited single ingredient treats that just have like one or two things. So I love them. They're a great company. I think I already mentioned Farm Fresh is the company that I love. She's really like just so inspiring. She's at like a million different events all year round, just promoting her company and everywhere in the world, it seems like, but they're doing really well. So I love them. Yeah, I would say those two.
We really appreciate you supporting local vendors, especially, and small businesses.
Yeah, that's one of my main things with my store, was to support small and local as possible. Like we even have, you know, things from BC and stuff that are being made, but I love the fact that a lot of it's like handmade too, women owned, like that's like a main goal of mine is to support women. Because when I came out with my accessory line, I would go around to like different stores in Edmonton and they would be like, yeah, like we have our lines, like, you know, we don't really need this. And I got shot down by so many people, and I was like, I want to be that person that people come to and I say like, yes, let's trial your product out in the store. Like at least give them a chance, you know? So,
I love that, because me being a small business owner, I'm always trying to connect with other businesses as well to see if, you know, my product would be suitable for them. So I know how that feels. And it's just
it's nerve-wracking. For sure.
It's door knocking.
It's like, oh
my gosh. What ways, I know inspiration's very contagious, so contagious, like I feel like when you're around a lot of people that are very high vibe on like motivation and inspiration, it's so contagious that what ways you can inspire as an entrepreneur?
I think just being passionate about like what you're doing, because that like rubs off so well on other people. And I also like, I'm always on Instagram and like listening to different podcasts too for like women in business and stuff like that. And I recently went to an event in BC with a bunch of like business women across Canada, which was so cool. I think just like surrounding yourself with people in business. I have a lot of friends that are just kind of working their 9-to-5 jobs, and I like talk to them about this. I get so excited. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing this, and they're like, oh, cool. Okay, you don't get it, but
I'll feel the same way.
Yeah, so when you find like that group of girls that are all doing kind of similar things, it's like so cool to talk. Like you could talk for hours just about all the different things you're doing. And I get inspired by like you too, like what you're doing, and like everything that you create is just crazy. Like I love it. You literally took my vision and put it into a store. So
I know.
Yeah.
Which we could just like pull up my link and just like stand there and scan the room.
I know. I'm like, when is it going to be done so I can finally be in it every day?
Has there been any obstacles that you've encountered as a business owner and as an entrepreneur that you want to share with everyone?
I think the main obstacle for me was when I was wanting to open the shop. I had a really hard time getting a business loan, like extremely hard, especially coming from like a 9-to-5 corporate to like completely switching on to being a store owner. I went through so much, like it was probably 6 months of just calling banks, calling different people, putting together my portfolio and resume, and literally for months they were like, no, we can't do this. No, like you have not, we can't support this in any way. And I talked to advisors, and I remember
it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, and what they want from you, they're like, well, you have to have like $150,000 in savings. I'm like, if I had that, I wouldn't be coming to you. But I actually remember one guy, I won't say the bank, but he was like, this isn't like gonna happen. Like, I just want you to know you're probably never gonna get a loan. Like you're a small business, plus you're a woman, he literally said. I was like, okay. And me, I'm just like taking it all on the phone, just not even saying anything. I'm like, if I could go back to that conversation, I would have done it so differently. But he was just super unmotivating and like not great to talk to. So that was like one thing I'll never forget. And I almost like gave up after that. I was like, this isn't for me. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to do this. Like, I'm going to need so much money and funding to like be able to do this. And then eventually I was like, no, I'm going to keep trying. But after like 6 months, I finally was able to get a loan. And it was like the best day of my life. I was like, finally I can do this. Like being able to like work towards it. It's just something so hard to do. But if you work towards it, like doing little steps every day, and you know, I think it's possible. So don't give up, because I almost did. And I feel like it could take like a year or two even sometimes. But
it's going to be the best moment when you open the doors.
I know. Yeah. That's what I'm the most excited for. Because I have people reaching out all the time on Instagram being like, when are you opening? I'm so excited. I'm just like itching to get there now.
Yeah, I love that. No, I feel like every no you get, there's going to be a yes. You just have to keep going.
It's a numbers game.
Yeah. We all have been there.
Oh yeah, and there's going to be so many more times, like in my whole career of doing this, that are going to be hard, I know. But it's like, if you can get back up and keep going and learn from what you've, you know, made mistakes on maybe, or whatever the case. But yeah, you just have to be resilient. Like, honestly, as a business owner, that's like the most important thing. So.
Yeah. Failure, it's not a failure. Like, failure is the way, like, it's one of the, in the progress of success.
Yeah.
So if you just keep going and don't give up, then like it's going to happen. You just have to keep pushing yourself through, and it's going to be a roller coaster as an entrepreneur. Trust me, it's not roses. Like, but you just learn from it.
Yeah, for sure.
For me, I see whenever I experiencing failure, I always see it as like a beacon of challenge.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, you're testing my limits. Like, what can I actually do to surpass this mental limit, this physical limit, this like I just see it as a limitation that I'm like supposed to like figure out. Yeah.
And without failure, how are you supposed to learn?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, I've been here before. Okay, well, let's do this. And, you know, you learn from that.
Yeah, and I feel like if you're passionate about it, like nothing will kick you down.
Yeah.
You know, you'll be able to get back up.
Another thing too, when you actually accomplish it, you look back and you're like, wow, like I was so resistant on thinking that it might not happen, but like to be able to see that it actually happened, now everything else just got easier.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've been working a lot with Orlandice in this whole summer.
Yeah.
What's your experience been like working with Orlandice on the design and everything, the entire component of just developing Island Dog?
Yeah, it's been amazing.
I'm pretty excited.
I had troubles kind of finding the right person to do it with, and I was like, I need to find someone who has past experience doing boutiques and stuff like that, and someone that I know is gonna like see my vision and want to be able to put it out there. So it's been amazing. I mean, even from the day that I told her, I'm like, I have this little dog boutique, I want you to help me with it. Like, it's gonna be pink and like really cute and just like something you've never seen before in Edmonton. And honestly, she brought it like to life. When I first saw the renders, I was like, oh my god, like my whole family was like, this is gonna be insane. Like, we're so excited.
I had so much fun. Like, when she was like, okay, well, this is the idea, this is my vision, and I could literally just like seen it in my head. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this and this and this and this, and like I feel like this shop, like this, like it's so vibrant and very fun, courageous, like, and very posh too. Like, it's gonna be something that is, I don't think Edmonton will ever have a pet store this vibrant. And what's really cool is like just knowing her branding and stuff. Like it's like literally bringing her branding to life. Like, and you could feel that story when you follow her on Instagram. Yeah. So like when you follow that, you feel that vibe, and then when you go into her store, you're gonna feel that same vibe. Like, I'm really, really pumped for it.
That was the main thing. I wanted people to have like an experience when they come in. It's like so different from the rest, and it's definitely like, I remember even like we were like, well, why don't we do this? Why don't we add like a whole tennis ball display to the wall and like make it multicolored, and then we can have like a little vending machine for this. And like we were just like, literally one day we were sitting at my house and we were just like, yeah, let's do this. It was just like so fun. I was like so excited.
I'm really excited about that tennis ball display.
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
I'm excited to see it.
I think they're about 6 feet tall by like 2 feet wide, but there's 2 of them and they're in glass casing.
Yeah.
And then Island Dog has colorful tennis balls that are going to go in. So it's just going to be like a collage of like
tennis balls.
Tennis balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
Honestly. I think, and we pulled so much inspiration from like multiple different things, like different stores around the world. Like I remember seeing random like cafes in the UK, and they were just like crazy vibrant, like so cute. And I'm like, wow, I don't think I'll ever see this anywhere in like Alberta for sure. Like I want to make something where people like, even just for them to come and like vlog through it or like take pictures of it. Like I don't even care. Like that's supporting small anyways.
Yeah.
So like if it's pretty enough, they'll come.
Yes.
And I think it's displaying island dog.
Yeah.
So it's what island dog, you want to go in there and you're like, I'm an island dog. This is island dog.
Yeah.
And when, you see photos of your shop once it's done and everything, people are going to notice like that is island dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I think you have very cohesive branding amongst your omni channels. Like you have your digital channels. I come from a marketing background, so I can see like that branding aspect. So I'm like your TikTok, your Instagram, your photography, your video, everything like makes you feel like you're like we know what your brand is like. Yeah. And so building the physical store experience, like Orlandice being able to bring that vision of life, I think it's so cool that it's connecting who was primarily an online customer base to now an in-store.
Bring it to the store.
Yeah. So exciting. It wasn't always like that. Our branding was actually really different before.
Oh.
We recently, like once I was like, oh, let's do a store, I was like, okay, I need new branding. Like I want to do something really cool. And I found a really amazing like graphic designer in New York, and she did all of our branding. And she literally just like, it's amazing. It's like everything I wanted, like the retro.
Oh, I love it.
Island vibes.
I got so excited. I was like, yes!
It's such a fun thing too, and it's going to be such a fun place to go every day for me. So
one thing people don't know is Galee is going to be doing a really cool palm leaves pampas install over the reception area. And we have these really beautiful pendant lights. They're gold. And then we're going to have, an installment by Pampas Gal over the...
So the installation is going to be made up of pampas grass, palm leaves. We have some orchids and some florals. So my inspiration, I was just thinking about like the islands, like Hawaii, and just like different parts of the world, and what kind of flowers would they have, and then how do we merge Island Dog's colors to fit within that too, but also to be timeless, because like for Pampas Gal, I tried to keep everything very timeless, and I want it to be one, durable, high quality, timeless in terms of aesthetics, and so that's like something that I was thinking about when I was building your installation, and I'm so excited for you to see the final look of it.
I'm so excited. Have you done it for other businesses?
I have, yeah. So I did an installation for Morning Brew Cafe in Sherwood Park. So they have more an industrial vibe to their cafe. So what I did was industrial like boho. So it's just this giant pampas piece hanging by silver chains and piping, like the plumbing piping, the metal, the industrial piping. So it's like very industrial and like raw, and then it's just like pampas.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah,
that's like one of the fun parts of our shop that I'm so excited for, because I think it's going to be so different than anything else, and it's right on our reception desk, so everyone's going to see it. It's going to be amazing.
So excited.
We have Tyler from Titum Cabinets going to be doing all of the custom details in there.
Yes.
Really, really pumped. What's really nice is like he gets my vision, so he'd be like, okay, let's do it, even though it's very custom and like very intricate, but I'm really pumped to see, like, we have these really cool arches with ribbing, and they're going to be in one of the blues, and then it's going to be a contrast against a pink wall, so like it'll be with beautiful retro lighting.
Yes. Oh, all the lighting is so amazing.
Yeah. I'm so excited.
Yeah. So, what is your predicting date for the boutique opening?
We're hoping mid-November. I'll quote like November 15th, but we're still under construction, so it could change. But I think now we're good to say November 15th. I did say end of summer originally, so I'm sorry for everyone that's like, what is going on? We like can't see anything. There's no updates. I'm like, I will update as soon as I know the date. I will literally put it out there, and everyone will know, and there'll be a grand opening event, and it'll be really fun. So
I hear deadlines have been really hard for the summertime this year.
Oh, yeah.
Like everyone's getting into the renovations and the
Yeah.
construction.
There's definitely a big delay, but I feel like the anticipation is just going to be just more grand when you open the doors.
Yes. Yeah. I think a lot of people in the area are like really looking forward to it too, because it's right around, you know, all the pet friendly apartments and stuff. So I think it's going to be really fun. I'm so excited for the grand opening. It's going to be like, we're going to have a DJ, we're going to have like little dog treats for everyone, little bags.
It'll be right around the corner before Christmas.
I know.
Yes.
So
don't even get me started on Christmas stuff. I literally want a big pink Christmas tree.
Oh my God.
With like cute little dog ornaments and like all the Christmas dog toys and like. Oh,
maybe I can make you a pink pampas tree.
Oh my God, yes. I was just on Amazon the other day and I was looking and I'm like,
because I'm making a big Pampas Christmas tree for Studio Haven. That's going to be happening in less than a month. We did one last year, but this year is going to be all white. Last year we did champagne. But if you are interested, let me know because I can bring you. I can make a pink one.
Yeah, pink and like blue. That blue color that we have too.
Yeah.
That would be so cute.
Yeah. We'll talk. Talk.
So Galee, what exciting announcements do you have with your business career? Maybe a touch of personal. Like I saw that you were traveling.
Oh, I just got back from Vegas. I was there for a bachelorette party for my future sister-in-law.
Aww.
Yeah,
Well,
so
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a sister now. I've always wanted a sister. But yeah, no, it was so fun. I had a blast. Like, almost felt like 3 days was just not enough.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I wanna go back for my 30th birthday. I'm gonna drag you guys both along.
Out of office.
Out of office. Sorry, we're closed.
But yeah, no, other than that, I guess being on the trip though, like as I was coming home, I just was so inspired by the experiences that Vegas creates, like for people to come in.
Yeah.
And I'm a very like experience oriented person. I've always built Pampas Gal with the intention to build like a real life experience one day. Like I want to have a boutique.
Yes.
And so I to say the least, without saying too much, I have this really grand vision for Pampas Gal right now, and it's pretty concrete. And I want to execute it, and I'm definitely gonna get you to design it for me. So now it's just making sure that all the things line up. And I'm excited to build this vision that I have in my head. Yeah.
And you're at the market now too, right?
Yeah, I'm at Bountiful Farmers Market.
That's like a mini little
It's
shop.
like a mini version, but like now, even after this trip, I was like, maybe I can do a mini version of my vision in the farmers market to test the idea and then build the grand scheme if it actually is something that is viable. My goal I don't know how, I have not set a timeline, but my goal is to have a store in New York City, LA, Vancouver, Toronto, and Edmonton, of course, because it's home base. Maybe Calgary, but like I want anchor stores in all like the biggest cities. That is, and then again, no timeline. I could be 60 and 70 and then still open up my LA store. Like I don't want to set a timeline on any of that.
Yeah.
But like I would love to have a storefront in all the major cities around the world.
On top of everything else you're doing.
This will be my main fashion. How about you? Any like?
So I guess last time we touched on our last podcast, I am a instructor. So for the architecture and interior design. So my time is split between that and interiors on point. I still have some really cool projects. Like I am not only Island Dog, a spa I'm working alongside. It's going to be opening too on the north end of Edmonton. And then we do have a few residential projects around the city. I am teaming up with another designer. I'm not saying who, but we are going to be doing a kind of like another kind of like a, I don't want to say too much, but we've started developing maybe herb products that we could
Retail?
Retail.
Ooh. We're all in the retail business.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, so very custom as pertains to our character and ourselves. Like, I think we were touching how like to define your brand and you and your character. So we all each have our own type of style, and
Yeah. That's so cool. When do you think that'll happen?
next year.
Okay.
Next year's in 2023.
Yeah, like which is in
literally
three,
like in a couple months.
three
Yeah.
months. Like if you can, like we're almost
So
done.
January we can.
So like yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So,
exciting.
yeah.
That's so fun. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm really excited. So and again, with my other project too with Tyler, like we're swamped.
She is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's really cool projects, and I can't wait for the finishing product. And
I'm so excited to
and
see.
my brain just does not shut off.
Yeah.
I know how you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Laura?
Well, I recently went to a little event with one of the bigger influencers in Canada, Jillian Harris. I don't know if you guys know her. But
I love her.
yeah, she's amazing. But she had like a little entrepreneur event for a day and a half down in Kelowna, and I got to meet her and a bunch of other entrepreneurs, and it was really eye-opening, and it was so cool to see and like make friends. I went alone, which was kind of crazy because I was like, well, I don't really have anyone I can take with me, but I'm just gonna go. And there were so many other women that were alone too, and they were all like the first day I met them, they're like, let's all go for dinner. Everyone who came alone, let's just all go and like talk about everything. And it was so much fun. But one thing was I got to sit, like I randomly picked a spot at a table, and it was actually with her whole group of friends and family. Like I didn't even know that they were gonna come sit at the table, but they were all talking about how they work for her. It was like her makeup artist, her, her cousins that all have their little businesses, and it like the way that they all talk, and like they just like they're all on the same wavelength, and they're all doing the same thing, and it was so eye-opening to see. It really makes you think of like what you said, like the blue sky, like limit, like where there's literally what could you do, like if you could do anything with like your wildest dreams of your business, like what would you do? And I was like, I want to open different retail locations like across Canada. Like eventually I want to have like one in every province. Like that would be so cool. And just like opening up different stores and being like successful that way, and just being so passionate about your work. It's eye-opening. I honestly cried at the end of it to them, because I was like, I don't have people that are like this, like the same, like we're all talking about our passion and like being an entrepreneur, and I don't have like girls like that in my life. Like I have great friends, but they're all kind of doing their own thing, or they're and so it was really cool to see that, and it made me more motivated when I came back. I was like, okay, I'm ready. Like
I'm not gonna lie, you just gave me little chills.
Same. Yeah. I was gonna say you now have us. And we can be your girl gang, and we can have wine and talk about our dreams and our passions.
Don't shut off our brain. And I feel like I said, like inspiration is so contagious once you are mixed and you start bouncing ideas off, and just like, this is what I'm gonna do. And just like, it's so that vibe is so contagious. It makes you more motivated. And
you have people that will support you, like doing different things. Like you're in design, you're doing the Pampas stuff. Like it's so cool to be able to like network, but also work with the people like as well, and like taking from your business and like helping mine. It's just it's really cool.
A big collaboration.
That's what it is.
It's a community. I truly believe like in the power of like building a community without limiting yourself to a city. Like I like to look at the world as like a boundless community, and that countries and borders don't define us.
Exactly.
And I feel like we could understand our mindset. Like as an entrepreneur, your brain, I have said this so many times, it just doesn't shut off. And then you do go through the trials and tribulations. And then when you do meet like another person, you're like, do you understand what I went through? And they're like, no, I've been through this. And they can guide you and like let you know how, you're not the only one by yourself. Like,
There's so many things that are going to come along with it. But in the end, it's like so worth it, because you're doing what you love every day. And I would never take that for granted. Like I've been in the corporate world and I'm like, I hate this. Like this is like so horrible. I just want to like do what I love to do and wake up so excited every day, and like that is what will keep me going. I don't care if I'm making like $0. I will do that for the rest of my life over working in a corporate environment.
I'm gonna go back to teaching when I do my lecturing and stuff, especially when it comes to like, I have such a passion for design. It literally just like leaves your body. Like you just know, like if you have this passion about something, you will, I guess, sell it. You'll be able to
exude it.
Yeah.
Like you embody, you identify, and like everything about you is that.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
Yeah.
So let's end our episode with our affirmations. Affirmations.
Yeah, we haven't done that in a while. Oh my gosh, we haven't done this forever.
The very first episode we
totally forgot.
I love that. I need to do that more. Like in the mornings, just waking up and saying something. I never do that, but I'm like,
do you want to go first?
Yeah, do you want to go first? Set us off.
Okay. It's short, but I am manifesting my dream life is like mine. Like that's just every day.
Yeah.
Do you want to go in a little bit of detail of like why that is and what you want out of that?
I just think that it's just so exciting, like every day to wake up, like I said, and just be so excited about something and manifesting it and talking about it. And like I've been talking about this for years, like, and now it's finally coming to life. And like so many people, I won't say they're like, that's like a huge thing. Like you're only 25, which I am only 25. They're like, why are you like jumping into it? Like, why don't you just like test out your online platform a little more, you know, and like see how that goes before you fully jump into something. And I'm like, no, like I've been literally manifesting this since I was like way before. And like I would be at my little 9-to-5 job and like on the side with my notes and like writing down things that I'm gonna do like in a couple of years. And now it's finally coming to life, and it's like, yeah, you have to talk about it. And like, if you have a dream, just go for it. Because honestly, so many people will think about something and what they want to do, and they're like, I'm not going to do it. And it's like, why not? Just like, you only have one life to live. Yeah. Like, that's how I think about it. I could literally get hit by a bus on the way out of this. But at least I'm doing what I love to do. Yeah. Like, I'm not wasting any time. So
I life is way too short.
Yeah.
Like, it's way too short. I don't know what it.
I also believe in failing fast and learning fast, and then getting back up and like and then work 10 times harder to figure out why that was a failure.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like
I love that.
Yeah.
I wish I had more guts at 25. I feel like I took my leap at like 27, 26. It's still amazing. It's still young, but at the same time I'm just like, man, if I had the confidence just even 4 years earlier, I had 4 years behind my belt. But
but some people don't even do anything till they're like 40, and then they're like, oh, maybe I should do it now. Like I was talking to a girl at this event that I went to in BC, and she's like, I don't know, probably mid-50s, and she's like, I work for like this big corporation and something in cleaning sales or something, and she's like, I really wanted to do something, but I just like I don't think I can. Like I just can't do it. I'm like, why?
Like, no.
Like you can do it.
Come
like,
to the other side.
Like, there's so many people like that.
Yeah, so many.
I think I'm going in my third year, so I'm 35. So I was 32 when I went on my own, and I've visioned been, you know, my own design firm, doing my own designs, being like creating and defining these designs around the city. I wanted to do that, but I worked with multiple businesses, and it's fear. It's like, what if I fail? What if I don't do this? And so once you do jump into that ocean, and you're like, okay, I gotta swim.
Yeah, you have no choice. You're gonna drown if you don't swim.
Yeah, and it pushes and motivates you that you're not going to drown. You're gonna like bob your head up and down, definitely, because you're gonna go through some like trials and tribulations. But I feel that once you do jump off that bridge and you do go for your dreams, I feel like that motivation itself is gonna push you through.
Yeah.
It's like the fight or flight mode, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're staying in stability, comfort zone, you're never going to be in fight or flight. And like the fight or flight feeling is scary. It's like you don't want to be in that high anxiety, nervous state, but like you almost need to be in that state in order to just get past to the next level.
I feel like you need to be uncomfortable because that is one of its ways of feeling for growth. You're growing. Yeah, definitely. So that being said, my affirmation is inspiration. I am inspired, and I am inspired by you two. I'm inspired by my students. I'm inspired by everybody that I come connected with. Like, I'm just getting inspired, even just being in my space by myself. Like yesterday, I went for a run, and just like being by nature. I was like, I need to like leave my office and just, if you go on a nature run or like just walk, you just get inspired there too, right? So just, I am inspired. I want to keep, finding ways to get inspired, traveling, journaling, making notes. It's just anything that could just like inspire.
Yeah, totally.
Us.
I get that.
Yeah.
I'm on the same wavelength right now because I was seeking inspiration in the last month or so because I was feeling a little bit uninspired. But since going on a few trips and just even just talking about it, I do feel a lot more inspired. And going into that, my affirmation is that I am capable of anything I dream up of. So like, I truly believe that like, if you believe and you dream of something, like you are capable of it. And sometimes I think as we get older, we start to think like, oh, our dreams were so far-fetched, or our dreams are so grand that like we don't have enough time to even do that. And for the split minute, I actually believed in that. Like I started to program myself telling me that, girl, you don't have a lot of time left. Like your biological clock is ticking. Like there's a lot of things that I kept telling myself that was resisting myself. And then I was like, oh shoot, I have a problem. I have a resistant mindset. I gotta switch that brain of mine. And so going to Vegas and just being inspired and just like really living life, just that's why I keep saying like my goals don't have a timeline, and I don't want to set a timeline. I could have a baby and I could have a family first and still complete my goals. And so I am capable of my dreams.
Yeah, I love that. Honestly, you have to think that way if you're gonna be an entrepreneur too.
I love how all of our affirmations are like tied together, like all three of them together. That's like superpower right there. And you'll be walking into your dream really soon. I know. You'll be putting merchandising on the beautiful blue
it's
shelves.
Also just me too, like in the shop at first. So I'm like, okay, we're really diving into that shit. It's just me, but I'm gonna do it.
Orlandice, please bring a floaty.
Please bring me some wings or something so I can stay afloat.
Well, if there's anything that we can help with once you open, please let us know. Like
the Christmas tree.
Yeah,
no, I'm so excited.
Like if you want to even hop back on after you've opened the store on your podcast and share your like experience of like now it's open. Cool. What's the new changes? Like we would love to have you again.
I would love to be back on. So fun.
So we're gonna end our podcast. Next episode, we have Gio from 76 Group hanging out with us on the podcast. I'm really excited. He's pretty fun to hang out with.
Some of the buildings you know of is Manchester Square.
Yes.
Is there any other buildings that you know?
I believe he has a few new developments that are coming up. So we'll definitely pick his brain when he's here.
Yeah. I'm excited to have him. So thanks for hanging out with us, and see you in the next episode. If you have learned or took away any golden nuggets from this episode, please leave it in our comments of our social media. Tag us that you listened to us, and subscribe to any of the channels that you can support us in.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laura, for being here.
I love it.